Friendly reminder to the folks, we're doing a festival August 26, 27, and 28 in Banglatown. It's called Jane Field by Davison Freeway. Right before Davison, there's a field on the right-hand side. It's called North American Bangladeshi Festival. This is our 21st time, and you are all cordially invited to that event. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 to 12. And we'll have renowned singers from international singers, Bangladesh, New York, Ohio, Indiana, and a performance on the stage. And we'll have a brightest food, ethnicity food, 40 stalls sold out. So it'll be a lot of crowd and lots of fun. So please come down 26, 27, and 28. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any more announcements?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
the closed session is to discuss the Chowdhury case and Natural et al. Versus Hamtramck. That didn't make it on. I'm noticing it didn't make it onto the agenda. Is it on the official agenda? Okay. All right. I just copy that. So got it. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that was official.
Okay. All right. No more announcements? All right, we'll move to the proclamations, recognitions, and presentations, and we have the Ukrainian Independence Day. Does anyone wants to read this long proclamation?
Can we read it?
Yeah, go, please.
On the 31st anniversary of the independence of Ukraine, whereas 31 years ago on August 24th, 1991, the Parliament of Ukraine formally declared an independent, sovereign, and democratic Ukrainian state, establishing the territorial integrity of Ukraine as sovereign and inviolable. Further upheld by over 90% of Ukrainians in the nation referendum in December of that summer year. And whereas for centuries the people of Ukraine yearned and struggled to achieve an independent state all the while preserving their culture, language, and self-identity. And whereas the territorial integrity of Ukraine is sovereign and inviolable, and portions of Ukraine's territory are currently under Russian military occupation and contravention of international law. We honor the efforts and sacrifices of the armed forces of Ukraine to stave off further Russian military advances in Ukraine, and their readiness to defend the entire European continent and its United States allies against further aggressive actions of the Kremlin. And whereas 30 years ago, on June 30th, 1991, the indigenous Crimean Tatar people of Ukraine restored their historic executive representative body, Mejlis of the Crimean Tatar people, which in 2016 was once again banned by Russian occupying forces, and the Mejlis building in Simferopol was seized by Russian law enforcement, as the language, rights, and culture of Ukraine's indigenous people remain under threat today, much as they were during the Soviet and Tsarist regimes. And whereas 75 years ago, in the immediate aftermath of World War II, when many thousands of Ukrainians found themselves beyond the borders of their homeland as refugees and quickly spread to several continents, branching out from Europe into North and South America and Australia. And whereas Ukrainian Americans continue to make significant contributions to the cultural fabrics of the United States, while never forgetting about their rich history and heritage, more than 100 years since first immigrating to this great nation, which they share their collective U.S.-Ukrainian values of freedom, democracy, and the rule of law. And whereas Ukraine has always had a special bond with the United States, with an over 20-year working relationship on U.S. NATO deployments, with Ukraine sending servicemen and women to serve alongside U.S. forces in theaters such as Afghanistan and Iraq. Now therefore, I, Amir Galib, Mayor of the City of Hamtramck, Michigan, on behalf of its residents, do hereby proclaim this day, week, August 23rd, 2022, is Ukrainian Independence Day week, and request and urge all citizens to join in commemorating this important anniversary. On this day, let us recommit ourselves to helping the Ukrainian nation reclaim full sovereignty over its international borders, and remember its heroes who sacrificed their lives to ensure freedom and happiness of the future generations.
Thank you. All right, next item is the Summer Youth Program.
We have PowerPoint. today for this, and we also have all the youth with us, so step on up and
If you guys want to introduce yourselves first, and then I'll put the PowerPoint up so that you guys can be seen first. And then push, Alessandro, if you want to push the center button. Oh, there you go, that's the speaker. Yeah, there you go. And I'll just go to the sides for you.
Hello, Council. Thank you so much for your time, and Mr. Mayor. So I am Alessandro, and I was one of the supervisors here in the program.
Hi, I'm Ariana Hinton. I'm also one of the supervisors.
Hello, my name is Isha Ahmed, and I was one of the interns. Hi, I'm Ariana Rashi, and I was also one of the interns.
Hello, my name is Michaela.
So yeah, we spent the past summer working together. Our whole program was focused on youth involvement in the city. So we kind of geared the whole agenda of the internship for that. So we are all local youth, or live here locally. And yeah, we did a bunch of different activities in the city, which we'll present about.
So to tell you a little bit more about the program, we're sponsored by DWMHA. So we had a focus on mental health regarding the youth, us, and also keeping the city clean and helping it through any means that we found necessary.
And all of our programming, we centered it around the master plan of the city. So we all got together and looked over the master plan of the city to plan what was feasible for us to do, and collaborating with local entities such as Greg Republic TV, we were able to collaborate with him, and with various community involvement as well.
So a huge focus of the program was helping beautify the city through picking up trash. So every morning when we came into work, we picked up trash for about an hour through various neighborhoods, and over the course we ended up picking up over 400 pounds.
So one of the projects we did for the master plan is Adopt a Can, and we chose this project specifically because it was easy to do in a short amount of time, as well as it having a positive long-term effect on Hamtramck. So what we did for this project is we took trash cans and we painted them for specific businesses to attract them, and we offered them free garbage bags, a chain and a lock so they can lock their trash can outside their business. And we hope that when people see these brightly colored trash cans, they will want to like throw their trash away and not litter. And this may seem like a small thing, but you'd be surprised as to how much trash accumulates on a daily basis. So we're hoping that this will make a big difference.
And we also had the opportunity for hosting GM volunteers, so we partnered with them every Friday, and we were able to do bigger projects. So we were able to paint curbs on key intersections on both Joseph Campo and Conant, that a lot of the curbs that didn't have parking limits on the corners, so making those streets safer was great to do it with those teams. So we covered various intersections on those both main streets in the city, as well as beautifying our parks and around City Hall.
So throughout the program, working with DWMHA, we participated in weekly mental health talks and check-ins, and we found that with the work that we were doing within the city was both improving our outlooks on our own lives and the improving environment around us.
So as you can see, we painted curbs throughout the city, soak the city, and make it safer for cars so they don't park where they're not supposed to. For an example, we painted the curbs in front of the city hall to make it look nice.
And one of our major projects of the summer was the restaurant guide. So one of the major points in the master plan was Hamtramck being a potential food destination, as it has a lot of food, as we all know. So we wanted to do our part by developing a survey that we can survey both residents and non-residents and gather research on Hamtramck restaurants and how often people eat out, and gather different data about the city and about the restaurants in the city and people's opinions, to then be able to present that for the city to take on in the future, or an external agency to make a guide in the future that would be more cohesive and something that was community voiced rather than something that was overarching and making assumptions about the city. And we were able to go, it was also a really great activity for us to get to know the city well, as a lot of us don't know the entire city. Even though we live here, it's a very small city, but there's a lot of streets. So we were able to pretty much scope a lot of the city by interviewing and getting to meet a lot of residents and local business owners as well. So yeah, here are some research findings that we had in our over 100 surveys that we did in the city. So as you can see, some of the local favorites, as well as the percentage of our research that was both local Hamtramck versus outside of Hamtramck. Go next. So this is was one of the research findings that we had that was surprising. So here you can see the how often people eat on Hamtramck based within Hamtramck residents and non-residents. So on the left you see Hamtramck residents. There is a very high, astonishing amount, which we found was that Hamtramck residents eat out in Hamtramck at least 1 to 3 times a week, and a lot of them do it every day, which is something that we didn't expect. We thought people did it less often, but that is actually really great to hear that people are supporting local restaurants. And then for non-residents that we interviewed, you can see number 1 is once a month, but number 2 up there in the chart, it is 1 to 3 times a week. So even non-residents are eating here 1 to 3 times a week, even without living here. So people do care about Hamtramck restaurants.
So, because we collected surveys on Hamtramck restaurants, we also wanted to ask about Hamtramck as a city. So in each of our surveys, we asked the participants to describe the city in 3 words. And then we made a word map. So the biggest ones are the most common and the smallest are the least. So yeah, you read those. And then, next slide. We also put together quotes and statements that were directed towards us while we were doing the surveys and just working, like painting the curbs and collecting trash.
So what we learned throughout this program is that it's very easy to get involved in city government and that small things really do make a difference.
And to add to that, we also learned majority of the things that we did as a program in the summer, we can also do in our everyday lives, like picking up trash and just helping the community in general. And we want to encourage youth to join next year in this program because it's fun, easy, and it teaches you a lot. And that's it for our presentation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
So this is for Ariana, Nusrat, Michaela, Ariana, and Alessandro. Thank you. Congratulations.
You understand?
Yeah, just hold it up.
1, 2, smile. Thanks.
All right.
I'm surprised that Rima's restaurant wasn't among your favorite restaurants. It's one of the busiest restaurants in the city. All right, thank you so much. All right, we move to additions, deletions, agenda approval.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilman.
we need to do the resolution 202290. We need to move over the next meeting.
202.
2290.
Is the old business?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
90, okay. So you want to move it to the next meeting?
Yes.
2.
Thank you.
You want to get a motion?
Second.
Second.
Second, okay. All right, so let's move to the next.
So this
Meeting.
is removed from the current agenda right now?
Yes.
Okay, we need a
Table.
vote
That
or
would be a motion to postpone.
Postpone,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
motion
what I was
to
thinking.
postpone, that's one.
So while
Yeah.
we go there, then we'll postpone the motion or we eliminate?
No, he already amended to postpone it to the next meeting.
The next
You
meeting,
guys
yeah.
It's okay.
Just for
And
the
someone
next meeting.
set
Second.
for the next meeting.
Yes.
So you motioned and I got a second.
Second,
You'd be
anyone,
the
yeah.
second.
That's
but
it.
There was no need for a motion and second.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So need a vote or what?
No, no vote.
No, for a motion to postpone, there has to be a second.
Yeah. They have a
There
second.
can be debate, there has to be a vote, it's a majority vote. and
Right. We still have to vote after
Yeah,
the
if
discussion.
there's any discussion, if there's no discussion, just vote on it.
That's what I'm saying.
Do we need to discuss that? Anyone has anything to say?
No?
Alright.
All right.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes, to move the other next meeting.
correct. Councilman Rafai,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Al Samiri's amendment to move to postpone resolution 2022-90 to the next council meeting has been approved.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll move to the public hearing. Where's the public comment?
Mhm.
Yes, public comment now.
Mr. Seifers? You did not, are you a Hamtramck resident? You are, okay, just making sure, because you didn't fill out your card.
Well, good evening, everyone. Before I start, I want to read this article. It has to do with the city attorney and the city manager. And I'm going to skip over some things, and I'm just going to start off where it says, he added that the city charter doesn't say he has to be white for sure. Bill Myers, who campaigned for the mayor and is a local activist for minority rights, said the next city manager ideally would reflect the city's Muslim community. He also echoed the mayor saying the city doesn't need a white person. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to, and oh, another thing, you got the city manager and the attorney going through the city, so I guess you guys going to pick it instead of going through an outside firm to pick the attorney and the city manager. Now, I'm going to say this. I am going out to find some individuals to apply for that job. If they don't get it, I'm suing the city. I'm telling you right now. Because this right here is racist. This is flat out racist. Now, I thought we got past all of that kind of stuff years ago and all of that kind of stuff. But to flat out say you won't hire a white person or let's say black or whatever, that is racist. The city has already gone through one lawsuit to segregate. You just settled that, what, 5 years ago or something like that. But I'm going to say again, you shaking your head like you don't know. But we just settled the Sarah Garrett lawsuit. You don't know about that? Okay. So, therefore, again, this right here is flat out racist. And for you guys and the young lady, she's not here, to agree with this crap, you should be ashamed of yourself. All of you. You should be ashamed of yourself. And each and every one of you right now should get up out of here, out of those seats, put those placards down, and walk out of here and get in your cars and go home. That is appalled that you would do that and say that in this dang on paper. I am appalled at all of you. But later on down the line, if you go along with what you said in this paper, I will have a bucket of money because I'm going to sue the city of Hamtramck.
Well, I know, I need to address that before you leave.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Yeah. So there is misunderstanding. Yeah, I'm just.
But he can allot me some more time.
No, I'm just gonna explain the statement in there. Some people here suggested that to maintain diversity, we should hire a white city manager. And my suggestion when Mr. Chaudhry was reading the qualifications, I said, does it say it has to be white? It is, I don't know if you understand my point. I am against suggesting that it has to be white. That's, if you watch that meeting, I said it. I said, does it say that it has to be white? It is saying that I'm against the suggestion that says the city manager has to be white. So I'm saying it can be anybody. Please understand the statement. Watch the meeting.
But why even say that anyway? That's not how it's said in this newspaper.
I just heard that some people suggest that it has to be white to maintain diversity, and I was against that. So please watch that meeting and get it together.
I'm just telling you what's in this newspaper.
Well, I'm telling you that
and
you
I'm
are
telling
wrong.
you what I'm gonna do. Now, if you hire someone other than white or black or Latino or whatever,
we will hire
I'm going to sue the city.
We will hire a qualified person. It doesn't matter what he has.
You already said who you hired in this
Watch the meeting. Watch
I
the
don't have to
meeting.
watch the meeting. This is the newspaper.
I don't care about the paper. The paper is not authentic.
Then
Just
why
watch the meeting.
didn't you call them? Charles is over here. Why didn't you
Okay.
never say anything to him?
Because I want you to watch the meeting. Watch the meeting, and then you'll
But see,
understand my point.
you want to change it now
Okay,
because you're being
time
called
is
on
over,
the carpet
please.
about it
All right.
now.
Please,
All right.
time is
I'm
over.
going to sue. I'm telling you right now.
That's
If you
okay.
hire someone,
You're shouting, please.
if you
This is-
hire someone
All right. That's enough.
other than
Listen,
That is enough.
white,
You got my
black,
point.
or whatever,
Small.
I'm
No,
going
no,
to sue this
I am
city.
going to hire the qualified person. That's it.
Then,
That's enough.
then you are endangering
not the
this
law.
city. And then the
No, no.
other thing I'm gonna do,
no,
the
you're,
blacks,
all right, done.
the Polish,
Oh.
we all need to put our tax
Time is
money.
over, time is over, man.
My time ain't up. You always give Bill Myers extra time. Why I can't get time?
Mr. Nasser Hussain, Hamtramck resident, 3 minutes, please.
Mr. Severs,
No, you listen,
some in the council suggested that the city manager has to be white. Why? Because we want to show diversity. It doesn't make sense that all the council members are Muslims and we have no white person. So what the mayor said, I knew that, it doesn't have to be white. We have to hire the qualified person. Hamtramck Review is manipulated by the former mayor. And she wants to cause friction between the races in Hamtramck.
Yes.
Go to the meeting, it's on YouTube, watch it, and come back and apologize to the mayor.
That's exactly what I said.
No, Mr. Mayor.
Why didn't you revert back to this? Why didn't you tell Charles to take
It's
this
time
out
out
and
and
run
time
a,
out. That's all.
Take your 3 minutes from Nasser Hussain.
I don't even read that newspaper. I don't read it. And your time is over.
Mr. Steve, most media have an agenda, and if you want the truth, go to the source. The Review publishes a lot of lies, a lot of propaganda. Not every time somebody will go, retraction, retraction, retraction. The meeting is on YouTube, go and watch it, then come back next meeting. Let's go back to my topic, is the approving industrial facilities exemption. I would ask the council, some brave councilmen, to make a resolution to stop any future exemptions. Hamtramck can't afford to give exemption to anybody. I remember this guy, he owns a recycling plant. His exemption is almost over for the recycling plant, and he wants to buy the lot on Hamtramck Drive and Joseph Campbell to expand the facility, and he did another exemption. And what was amazing is that they offered to sell to him for $30,000. A lot of other people expressed interest. The city pulled the lot, and they don't want to sell it now. I don't know why. So you should make sure they sell it. If the council is inclined to give them the exemption, you should make a condition that they be responsible for snow plowing, responsible for any municipal service like water main breaks, sidewalk repair. If you give them the exception, the city can afford to give them more services. They have to be responsible for all the services in the city. For the warning thing, for Mr. Muhammad Sumairi's suggestion, I applaud this, but I think there should be a warning for everybody. I was suggesting on the Facebook, you could make a list of all the phone numbers of the residents of Hamtramck, and you send a mass text message to them. Tomorrow, the code enforcement officer will be outside giving tickets. Make sure or in 2 days, make sure your lot is cut and everything. This way, everybody would have had a warning. You don't have to send a letter to everybody. And if you make this system, it would be a good idea, like a mailing list for everybody in Hamtramck, not a phone list. Then any issue, you just send them a text message. Fix this, your Porsches. This will be a warning, and you don't have to spend that much money on it. Then you give ticket directly. That should be it. Thank you.
I have George Kirschner. 3 minutes.
I wanted to give the council a little bit from the history of what happened in Hamtramck some over 20 years ago. What has prompted me to do this was the last meeting when I was listening to the discussion about the abatement for the improvements in the city. About 20 years ago, I know a lot of you probably have seen the American Axle World headquarters. Anyone has seen that? Nobody has seen it, okay. They came to the city council with a plan to build in Hamtramck. That world headquarters was going to be in Hamtramck, on this side of the railroad tracks. They also own a number of other buildings. They had manufacturing plant, they had engineering buildings and so on. So they came to the council asking for, with all the plans, beautiful building that was gonna face Holbrook, and asked for a 50% abatement, and that's a $500,000 taxable value on the building. So they wanted $250,000 a year for 10 years. That's $2.5 million. Now, at that time, it looked like a really bad deal. The city could not afford to lose two and a half. Actually, over 10 years, $2.5 million. So 3 council people decided to change the agreement and voted against it. So everything was fine. They were congratulating themselves that they saved the city $2.5 million. Next week, what happened? The American Axle decided not to build in Hamtramck. They moved 100 yards west. Can I have another minute?
Yes, yeah.
They moved 100 yards west into Detroit, and the part that was going to be a parking lot and park became the place for their world headquarters. Then what they decided to do is deconstruct all the buildings that were on the north side of Holbrook. Their engineering building, their manufacturing building, and pretty much moved out of Hamtramck. They sold other buildings, other property. Now, what did this cause? At that time, it looked like it was a good deal because Hamtramck did not give them $2.5 million over the 10 years. But also, the Hamtramck lost all the tax revenue that they were collecting from them as well, and all the revenue from the income taxes. So, over the 20-some years, the estimated value or income from that decision was between $20 and $40 million. Now, I don't know what kind of state the city would be in today if they had that $20 or $40 million extra. But at that time, it looked like the city was making money. But when you look in the future, the city lost quite a bit. So I do not want to tell anybody how to vote, and I would not want to make a decision myself. I'm not getting paid to make that kind of decision. The city manager, the attorney, they are getting paid to give you good advice. And your decision is to take their advice or reject it. But if you look into the history, and this can be found in the archives of the council meeting minutes, sometimes looking back in history kind of gives you a lessons for the future.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Brazil Chowdhury, Hamtramck, 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you. Good evening. I am here for a public safety concern. I have a property on Strawberry Street, just east of Joseph Campo. And my tenant are telling me they have to leave because next to my property there's an empty lot, and it has like 4 or 5 feet grass and weeds, and rats and snakes live there. And I took some pictures and videos like 4 years ago, and I showed in this city hall. The Kathy then sent someone there, nothing happened. And probably they don't find the owner or something. And in front of this, that empty lot, the walkway, there is no concrete, it's only mud. So I saw ladies are going with the kids or somebody is on a wheelchair. They have to go there and stop and change the side, go other side and go to the Joseph Campbell. So I don't know why it's taking that long like this. I've been trying since 2017 I'm here. And I've been telling them, last week I gave it to the building department, nothing happening. But some other properties I hear little bit grass, they are getting ticket. But this property, I don't know what happened. It's next to the bakery building from the Joseph Campo. If you walk to the east, just bakery, then one empty lot is well taken care of. And after that, there's a lot is years and years. Nobody's taking care of it. And the walkway. It's not concrete, it's mud. So thank you.
Thank you.
I can send you the address.
Mr. Mayor, we have a public comment, I guess you can call it, from Councilman Adam. Good afternoon, everyone. This is your Councilman Adam. I wish you all the best luck in everything you do. I'm out of town on a business project that I am working on. I'm in support of all new business agendas, and I will try my best to make it to the next city council meeting. And that's all for public comment, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, on the consent agenda, we have Mr. Hedwig Salah on there for appointments. He's here today, if you want me to have him call.
Should he do it before I read the consent agenda or after?
I'm just letting you know.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so we're moving to the consent agenda, and we have approval of minutes from the August 9th, 2022 regular city council meeting. Approval of invoice registered date ending August 23rd, 2022. Approval of pre-approved expenditure date ending August 23rd, 2022. Resolution 2022-100 approving separation agreement with Hamtramck Public Library. Resolution 2022-101 approving stipend payment to city clerk for additional election services. And Resolution 2022-108 approving appointment of Hadwan Salah to Human Relations Commission.
I motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No objections. All right, we can bring Salah Hadwan.
Step on up and introduce yourself.
Hello.
Swear you in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Fred, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Salah Hadwan. I've been a resident of Hamtramck since 1994. I currently serve on the school board. I've been doing it for about 6 years. And I'm just here to support the city as much as I can and support you guys, and looking forward to working together.
And it's Salah Hadwan, not Hadwan
Yeah.
Salah. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the
the duties of the
Human Relations Commission
Human Relations Commission
of the City of Hamtramck
of the City of Hamtramck
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, thank you. All right, so we moved the old business, we tabled that. So we'll move to the new businesses, and we have first resolution 2022-102 approving appointment of Maali Luqman as Assistant City Manager.
Motion. Second.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, Ms. Lukeman's here with us today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Maali Luqman. I'm currently on the Wayne County Women's Commission. I recently completed a couple of fellowships, one with the Legacy Cities, and that focuses on improving industrial cities. And prior to that, I completed a fellowship with the Kellogg's Foundation on diversity, equity, inclusion, and community leadership. That's why I'm extremely ecstatic to be part of the Hamtramck team, because I know Hamtramck has been recognized for being one of the most diverse cities in the country. Prior to that, I completed a master's in international relations with a certificate in international security. I completed that at Harvard. And while I was there, I was able to travel to Senegal, West Africa, and spend 8 weeks there completing a documentary and learning about the transatlantic slave trade and how it's impacted the United States. I ended up publishing my thesis into a book. It was an award-winning thesis, and it was focusing on the impacts of political rhetoric for minorities. So I will be happy to use a little bit of my expertise to enhance Hamtramck City. And following that, I was an associate dean at Wayne County Community College District, where I was able to serve students from the Hamtramck community. So I'm very familiar with the students that come from Hamtramck, and I'm really looking forward to serving the city. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Do
Mr.
we?
Chair?
Yes, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
So, I've been council since from 2009. board or under my observation, we had lots of city managers been hired, and our sort of not saying anything, we have to provide the forum, and we never did it. Only the one time we have done, one of the councilmen has an interest, either personal or the city interest. That's why we was bring somebody here and look for the city manager. That time it was emergency, we have to find out the city manager. So that's why we brought somebody and to bring the forum to get the city manager. It cost us over $15,000. And again, we never agree with the no council member resolution. We have to hire the forum to look for the candidate to bring here. Second, the other city hired the employee, hired the manager, hires the director, including Hamtramck City. We've been hiring the director, we didn't hire any firm. There is another $15,000 to $20,000, we don't have any to look for it, but Hamtramck website, Michigan Municipal League website, we can post it, we can vote, everybody, we tell them to apply for it. Matter of fact, already 20 or around 25 application already is coming to our personal email also. That means if those people don't know how they personally emailing to us and also city website. So that is the one I want to clear. My friend was talking about there is the no provision we have. We did not approve any provision to hire the firm. Second, I never had the resume like this one. I don't know how Harvard University, respectful, and the bachelor degree of mathematics. I have a master's applied math. I know how the mathematics degree go, how the math go. So I control the most of the mechanical engineering thing, concept of my applied math. So a number, nobody can beat the number, my workplace, over 27 years. So Hamtramck City needs somebody diverse, qualified, play with the numbers, educated, and world top university. So that impressed me. So it is nothing favoritism, it is nothing personal, it is nothing political. So that's why I impress, and from my side, I'm okay to hire Miss Mali to be our assistant manager. There's the other reason. Lots of managers who've been hired, there is a lot of discrepancy. We have discussion between the city contract, city important financial decision, what they has done, what they told us, there's a big difference. So there's the trust level also broken. So as a community, as a city, we have to trust someone. We did trust, and we have some problem. And real quick, not looking at for the Hamtramck interest. Sometimes looking for personal interest. There's a lots of director left Hamtramck, came here without any experience, get the experience, big money, go the other city. So there's another thing, respect, love the Hamtramck, it didn't happen. So that's why we try to hire someone from our community or from Hamtramck or Detroit, at least they feel our pain and qualified candidate. So first of all, I'm going by the qualification, and I'm okay with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wants to say anything? Well, I want to say something also. I wrote a few days ago on my Facebook that 3 things, if combined together, they can make the place and time you live in a dangerous one. hatred, ignorance, and fake news. So a lot of time, news can twist your words and cause problems. And if you don't seek your news from an authentic source, you get in trouble and you get other people in trouble. So I still want to confirm that I am against hiring people based on their race or ethnicity. It's based on their qualification first. Yes, diversity is important, inclusion is important, but the person has to be qualified. And I will say it again. My stance was against hiring a person that it has to be white. I will say it again, because some voices were saying it has to be white, and I said, no, it doesn't have to be white. It has to be a qualified person, black, white, Arabic, Bengali, anything. People can go back and listen to the video, and they will know what I meant. You can't cause a problem based on fake news. Regarding Maali, I know Maali since she was in Access maybe 20 years ago. She was still a student, probably in high school. That's the first time I met her. She was volunteering for the community. I know her, a person who is committed to serve the community. She has a lot to offer to the city. She's going to be a great asset to the city. And I'm happy that she will join our team. And we are looking forward to working with you. Thank you. All right, we can go ahead and vote.
Mr. Chair, I have to say one more
Yes.
thing I forget, unless any council member want to speak.
Go ahead.
Okay, so again and again, hiring is not this the permanent position. I don't want anybody to think, oh, I get hired and I will be permanent. No, we'll evaluate every year performance things. Depends on performance, no matter what, they will stay or not. So that one I want also clear. It's not the one we bring somebody, keep it here permanent. No, we are gonna look for the performance thing very strongly. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's vote.
Councilman Hassan?
You make
Yes,
me
we're
right
voting.
away to the spot?
Yes, I did that on purpose.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Councilman El Samiri?
Yes.
Councilman Rafai?
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 22-102 approving appointment of Mali Luqman as Assistant City Manager approved.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right, we'll move to the next resolution. Resolution 2022-103, approving appointment of Uday Marawah as city attorney.
I make a motion.
Second.
All right, thank you.
Motion.
It's kind of customary, Mr. Mayor, as a point of personal privilege, that when somebody becomes a lawyer, they have somebody motion the court to bring the person in as a member of the bar. If I could, as a point of personal privilege, make a somewhat of a motion to,
A moot motion.
a moot motion that someone of you could take up. I met Uday in April of this year through Zach, his partner. And Zach is a frequent practitioner in the Dearborn Heights District Court. The judge in the Dearborn Heights District Court, who's a dear friend, sent Kathy a message saying, I hear you're looking for a new city attorney. Zach Hallman would like to talk to you. And Ashley walked in and handed that message to Kathy, and I was a little bit irate because I wasn't looking to go anywhere, and I couldn't understand why my friend Judge Plawecki was sending this much younger and better looking attorney to take my job. So we had a laugh about it. I put the note, Kathy handed me the note, I put it in my pocket, and I went down to 31st District Court to struggle through the day, and that night I took the note out of my pocket and I started to think to myself, well, maybe I need a little extra help. So I called Zach Hallman and I said, you want to be a city attorney? Well, show up on Friday, I got a full docket and I need some help. I'll see what you made of. So I met Zach first. He seemed like a good guy, and he said he had a partner that knew how to speak Arabic, that grew up running the streets of Hamtramck because his mother was a dentist here. So I'm thinking to myself, well, this is a unicorn. I mean, we've got a partnership, one guy who's, and I hate to bring up the ethnic backgrounds given the discussion tonight, but we got a guy who's Polish, who's familiar with Hamtramck, and a guy who speaks Arabic, of Arabic background, who ran the streets of Hamtramck as a young kid. And if there's going to be somebody that's gonna come in after me, these guys have the heart and the energy that I had at one time as a much younger man. And I think they've got the brains to beat me as well, so.
I don't know about that.
They're good people, and if you want to attract the best and the brightest, you've clearly done that here with the first motion. These gentlemen are solid together, and I think they'll be solid for you. I'll be there to back them up whenever they need me to come in and help them, but I think you got a solid couple of people that will do a good job for you and put Hamtramck first, which is what you need.
Thank you. I have to say, I really appreciate Jim saying that, and I was pretty nervous to say anything in the first place, so that gave me a second to breathe, I guess. I will say, I mean, with regards to my background, I'm not just Arabic or Arabic speaking. My dad was born in Africa, in Senegal, which she mentioned she had been to Senegal. My dad was born in Dakar, Senegal. He lived there his whole life until he moved to America. He'd been to Lebanon one time for 1 week, and the only thing he can remember as a child was he got hit by a horse or something. That's all he remembers. So really, he's Senegalese. He has a Senegalese passport as well as an American one. My mom was born in Baghdad, Iraq, but she has she's only a quarter Iraqi. My grandma's Armenian and Turkish, and my grandfather was Russian and Iraqi. So I have quite a bit of nationalities in me. I've got quite a bit of mix. I speak French and Arabic too. It's probably French a little bit better than Arabic. But I'm not really trying to brag, I'm just trying to address the...
Prove it.
Je parle français très bien, je parle comme j'habitais en France. Well, anyways, any French speaker will tell you my pronunciation is very good. Zach is a Polish background. He spent his entire life coming to Hamtramck. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Babcha, I think, is what he said. That's who he'd come down with it, and his grandpa. So, maybe I'm wrong. We should have talked about that. So that's that. With regards to our qualifications, I know you guys talked about qualifications being important. Obviously, that's what you want to hear about. I graduated from Wayne State as an undergrad. I graduated from Washington University in St. Louis, which is a top 15 or 16 law school in the country. Zach graduated from University of Illinois Law School. I don't know their ranking, but I know it's top 25.
Yep.
So we both graduated from top law schools. Not as good as Jim, but we're getting there one day. WashU will be there. So we have the qualifications there. For the last decade, I came back from St. Louis to the Metro Detroit area because this is where I was born, this is who I wanted to serve, and this is who I wanted to help. And in doing so, I opened a small firm. And that firm, to be honest, isn't the biggest moneymaker in the world. Why? Because we help the little people. We help people who need help, who come in and say, please, help us, with this or that. And over time, that grew into such a practice. First of all, the district court practice, which Jim brought us in to help with. That's why we're so good at that. We've dealt with that for 10 years. We've dealt with that in every level. But also, I built a real estate and business practice where I did complex real estate issues and business issues. And to be quite fair to Zach, he is a superstar lawyer as an employment attorney. He knows everything, period, about employment law. And I think that's going to be very helpful to us in serving this community and serving the council and the mayor. So in terms of qualifications, that's our experience and our education, but more than that, we offer something a little bit more intangible, which is hard work, dedication. We believe in honor. We believe in, look, we have families with young children. He has twins. I have a son who's 2 and hopefully another on the way. We work really hard to make sure that we provide for our family, and in doing so, we do it ethically to provide an example for our family for the future. And so that's what we promise to do here, is to be as ethical and as honest and as forthright as possible to you in everything, to help and to serve the best that we can. He mentioned, my mom did have a dentist office in Hamtramck. As a kid, I'd come all the time, walk the streets by myself, get to go to the corner and get a drink and candy, which was a treat because my mom would never let me out of her sight generally. But in Hamtramck, she felt it was safe enough for me to go. And I always remember that, really. As a kid, I felt like an adult getting to go to the store by myself. So I appreciate it, and if you hire us, we will do the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair.
Thank you. Yes. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, so since our attorney Jim Allen firm declared he's not gonna be within Hamtramck, he resigned. After that, as a mayor pro tem, as a experienced council member, I have to take the responsibility. And I cannot wait for last minute. I communicate lots of people how we gonna fulfill the farm. I tell our attorney, I need some attorney to come here, look for it, because you leaving and we don't have nobody. So like he introduced the farm, I said, I don't know anybody, I needed somebody at least right now to take over your farm. So he said, this gentleman, this farm already are working with us, so that's a good thing. I'm sure because he don't wanna his hair go more gray. Yeah, you know, you're gonna have a dead one because being Hamtramck attorney and you're not gonna have any hair very soon. So please look for the Hamtramck city. We are a diverse community, and there is previously lots of discrimination. What I saw from 2009, as an attorney, I'm gonna request to you guys. I got a African American community, I got a Bengali community, Yemeni community, Polish. I want everybody to get same respect and same manner. That is my request. I'm okay with that. So we need a farm, and I believe we got the good person and good farm. So I'm okay with that.
Anyone else wants to
No.
say anything? All right, let's call the votes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Rafai,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Hassan.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 22-103 approving appointment of Ode Maru as city attorney has passed.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right, we'll move to
Resolution.
C, Resolution 2022-104, approving proposal for construction of homes at 5190 Yemen's, 5191 Yemen's, and 12085 Gallagher.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
this is, in short, the last three houses for the Sarah Garage that my predecessor, Mr. Allen's firm, had been working on for quite some time. This is, once we get these built, and believe me if I'm wrong, but that should be the end of it. So before you today is three proposals for those three houses that Wayne County gave us $950,000 towards, and we're hoping to get those started as soon as possible.
Yep.
If I may, this is a very happy day for the city of Hamtramck. The lawsuit was filed in 1968, 2 years before the guy with the gray hair was born. When I came to Hamtramck, not a single house had been built. There were promises that had been made in 1989 in a federal consent judgment to build the houses. There were a lot of lawyers that got rich over the years, but the promise to build the houses was never fulfilled. The first thing I did when I came in as the city attorney was to go to the left of the plaintiff's attorney and demand of the federal judge that we have a way to build the houses. And we built 197 houses before I left when the state came in 2013, all without spending a single penny of general fund money. State came in, the first thing they did was reassess the houses that we had built, which was a breach of our agreement. It was immoral, it was wrong, and it took a good long period of time after I came back to fix that problem, which, to our credit, the city's credit, the assessors, and with the help of Wayne County and the plaintiffs, we were able to fix. So these last three houses, we worked very hard to get the funding for them. And again, these are going to be built, I think, we should be able to finish them without spending general fund dollars. Once these houses are built, the lawsuit, our obligations under the lawsuit are going to be completed. I've agreed to help Zach and Ode finish what is left of the lawsuit, but these quotes came in last week to do the construction. The hidden costs that we don't know about are whether or not these lots have houses buried underneath them, because back in the 80s and 90s when they did demolition, they used to bury the houses in the lots instead of taking them and putting them in a landfill. So they won't know until they actually start digging whether or not they have to take debris out of the lots. That could increase the cost, but we think we have the cost covered under it. But that's kind of the biggest unknown at this point. The developer wanted to postpone ordering until he knew. I insisted that no, we need to order the houses now, because we need to fix the cost and make sure that we can hopefully get started on this during this construction season. Hopefully have the houses built sometime late this year, early next year. So, congratulations to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other discussion?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's vote.
Councilman Rafai,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 22-104, approving proposal for construction of homes at 5190 Yeamans, 5191 Yeamans, and 12085 Gallagher passed.
Thank you. Next one is Resolution 2022-105, approving Michigan Indigent Defense Commission grant and amendment of the 2022-2023 budget.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Discussion?
Okay, so this one, Mr. Mayor, is the Indigent Defense Commission grant. Just like all the other grants, we generally have hoops to jump through. We didn't apparently allocate the match in the last budget, so this is us playing catch up to do that and fulfill the grant. So it's just a formality.
All right.
Vote. Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Resolution 22-105, approving Michigan Indigent Defense Commission grant and amendment of the 2022-23 budget is approved.
Thank you. Next one is Resolution 2022-106, approving Peninsula Fiber Network LLC as the primary 911 service supplier.
Mayor?
Motion.
Second.
Second? All right, go ahead.
This one here is basically our first steps in moving forward with upgrading our 911 system. This would be essentially the back room components to that, and this is the provider that we actually use to get the fiber out to where it goes. There's going to be a lot more coming with this. We still have to seek out some grant money to change out our infrastructure at the front desk as far as the actual phones and the computers and such, but this is essentially step one. Pretty much the rest of the state is already on this Peninsula Fiber Network, and we're just following suit.
Thank you. Any discussion? All right, let's go ahead and vote.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 22-106, approving Peninsula Fiber Network LLC as the primary 911 service supplier passed.
Thank you. The next one is Resolution 2022-107, directing the city manager to implement the issuance of violations without preliminary warnings on trash-related offenses.
Motion. Second.
Discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
so I've been hearing a lot of things from community, and personally I saw a couple of tickets. So I don't like the system without giving the warning, given the ticket right away. I was disagree. from the day one. There is some people have is in hospital. He didn't get chance to come, move the whatever violation happened, get the ticket. One of the owner Sunday show me only the one garbage bag in Jasa Campo, get the ticket. He said, at least give me the 12 hours time to finish up my job or my business, come back, remove it. So the ordinance we have right now, there is the warning thing already there. But it's not there. I think there's
No.
the 72 hours.
I don't believe there's any requirement in the ordinance for warning.
Warning, yeah. There's-
Okay,
there
so, that case, I'm gonna say, we wanna modify, amend this one to give the warning, or I'm gonna bring the new resolution, ordinance. I still wanna, for the businessman, 12 hours or 8 hours, and residents, 72 hours. That was my concept, I don't know why I didn't get that one now.
If you don't mind, Mr.
Go
Mayor,
ahead.
you can't amend this one.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
the resolution itself is
Right,
to not.
I'm
Yes.
talking on behalf of resolution.
Correct, oh,
So-
so you can actually amend the ordinance.
Later on, not right now.
Ordinance.
So I'm talking on behalf of this resolution, I disagree with this resolution. Is my new proposal will come, that's why I'm telling, is the one, everybody should have little warning before they got ticket. That is my, request, that's the why I'm gonna stand with that.
All right. Anyone else?
Well, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem already covered many of the specs. I echo with him that is correct, that, giving people no warning and just give them a citation immediately, it will backfire us. It would not be happy ending. I mean, they're already complaining, getting those citations. They said, I just went to work. Before I went to work, I left it on the porch, and they gave me tickets by the time I come back from work. People should be allowed to have time to clean up the paint cans or something they left on the porch or the backyard, to clean up. But they're getting tickets. And now we are trying to reinforce that to the extent where people are not going to get a warning, and they're just going to get a citation immediately. And that's unfair to the residents. That's my statement.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
just to state as I work for the code enforcement, to let my colleagues know, first of all, there's nothing in the city ordinance or any resolution that gives us the option of putting a warning or not. That's one. Second, having a warning by me working in the code enforcement, to me, it gave more issues, more problems, where people think it's pick and choose now who you give a warning ticket. I think if it sticks the way it is right now that we have, and try to push the code enforcement or whatever department it is, just follow the rules and follow the resolutions that we have, that will keep away of, hey, I think I'm being chosen, getting a ticket where this other person, because he's such and such, he might not give a warning. So it's been an issue where people really think, the warning issue, it's always pick and choose who you want to give warnings. It depends what my colleagues want to do, if they want to pass this or not, but having a warnings, it will cause more issues. That, I have noticed when I work as a code enforcement.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr.
I have a couple of logic I'm gonna bring to my colleagues. So, 1996, winter time, my car broke down. I brought to my backyard alley, left it there. At least I don't have no place. So I go to work, coming back from work, I got a warning from the Hamtramck city, if you don't remove, if you don't go correct this one, we're gonna take the action, whatever warning said. I had that one 1996 and I removed that one. and I had a warning from that time. So I personally, from long time, so I had a warning. That time, if you had a warning to given the people opportunity to correct themselves, why not right now? What is the big difference? Second thing, there is the few ticket I deal with that. Somebody, code enforcement, go over there, saw something, wrote a ticket, wrong address. As personally, I came to that. So even it's not even my address. The guy said, my backyard clean is side by side me. So I brought him with the office. Oh, sorry, we had a mistake. So if he had a warning also, then other guy, neighborhood, oh, he got a warning, we can remove. One guy has the open heart surgery. His family busy with the hospital and they are back and forth. So there is no option, got the ticket. The other one happening right now, because of ticket, some residents taking the stuff, putting the neighborhood alley. Oh, I'm fair, I'm not gonna get ticket. Neighborhood don't know. So yesterday he checked, it was good. I didn't go today, because I didn't put it over there something. Somebody put it there. I don't know. So that case also, hey, oh, I have something back here. So that's why I'm saying 72 hours in future. I'm not saying like a week. So at least they know. So somebody put in my backyard. I go Grand Rapids, my sister-in-law house. I stay 3 days. Even I don't know. Oh, so that's why I have to put the ticket, even though I didn't. So those kinds of logic, and is the residents more powerful than who Hassan I am sitting here. So resident requesting, most of the resident requesting for at least little bit, not like a 1 week before, 72 hours, businessmen 8 hours or 12 hours. So those kinds of things we have to listen from the community. That's why I'm coming for. I hope we have enough discussion. Dictatorship is no good. No good for nobody. Compromise is very good. Give them the option little bit, see how this go. Okay, so that's the way I'm thinking. And there is a lot of digital world right now. Whatever my friends say, even though I sleep, morning I say, okay, Mr. Nasser already said something. So there is the text message group going, hey, coming this, warning. So I still need a warning, I feel, from as a Hampton resident. Thank you.
Okay, so I have to explain because it looks like I'm gonna have to vote too. So I am okay with giving tickets without warning if there would be no bias in determining the ticket. Is it worthy of a violation from the first time? Is it something that's minor that the resident himself has nothing to do with? Maybe the wind blew something into in front of his house. That's not worth a violation or a ticket. I have a bad experience with my neighbors. A lot of times I find stuff in the alley that I didn't put there, that somebody else threw it in there, and I keep cleaning up stuff that are not mine, and I didn't put it in there, and so people just pass by and throw stuff to the alley in front of the house. So this is what I'm worried about, that I'll be ticketed for something that I didn't do and I have nothing to do with, and it's somebody else who did it. Otherwise, I know that we need to be strict on implementing codes so we can keep the city clean. But I think we can think of different ways to encourage people to keep the city clean without penalizing that sometimes we could be a little harsh on some residents. So I need we probably need to come up with a better idea to improve the cleanliness of the city.
Mr. Chair, previously when I was in the subcommittee for the code enforcement, for the ordinances, we were actually working on to complement or have something on that. Like you said, sometimes leaves will, because of wind, will come to behind your house, and now the code enforcement will come and write you a ticket because you didn't clean your leaves, where the wind kind of blew, on your fence. And that's why, as a subcommittee, we were working on, there's stuff sometimes it happens because of the wind. So why the code enforcement will write you a ticket when in reality it wasn't even you? So we were adding that, we were working on that actually. So there's stuff that you can tell that person just threw it there. Like, like a mattress. That, to me, that's automatically, you should get cited for that. You should get a ticket. But something like, like you said, either trash or leaves, that because maybe the wind just blew them to your house, I get that. And I think it should go back to the code, for the subcommittee again, to continue how we were going on, where, giving kind of, excuses to those individuals that didn't even throw these kind of stuff behind their house. I think if it goes back to the subcommittee so they can finish that off and then come back to council and you guys could decide if it's a good idea or not, instead of just forcing tickets like you said, where people, hey, I didn't throw that bags of chips on behind my alleys.
So yeah, I agree. We that's why I said, to give the code enforcement the autonomy to decide, is this violation worthy of a ticket? Like a mattress, yeah, that's something big. You don't need to give a warning. That's automatic ticket. So we need to give them a little bit of autonomy to decide
if it's
based on the severity of the violation. Is it big enough? That means you don't need to give a warning. Just give a ticket. So it's self-judgment. They can use their judgment based on the severity of the violation. I agree with that. Maybe we should leave it to the subcommittee to come up with.
Do you want to make that motion?
Well, so you're making an amendment?
Still discussion, Mr. Chair, I have a
Go ahead.
to
So
say.
Chair,
Okay, let him do.
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Everybody, they live in Hamtramck. If everyone, they want to be Hamtramck clean, better, same other city, they have to be clean. If you find out for the warning, they're going to be same thing. It's not clean. The warning gets confused. Still lost time. People, they want to live in the city, make everything clean. People is not clean, make him a ticket. Nobody gonna be clean only from the ticket. That's, I believe, to live in Hamtramck like that. If somebody gets living to find out the warning, it's gonna be trash, same thing. Every week we have the group, every week. 6-7 people to make it clean. We need to stop this group. Every week, we're gonna be group this area. A second week, 6-7 people group a second area. We need to stop. We need to live in Hamtramck, same other city. Everything clean. Not to find out, confused for the warning. Just lose time. Please, you need, have to make Hamtramck clean. That's what you want.
Yes, or we can give ticket right away, but with given the opportunity or the chance for the person to go to the city hall, take care of it within 72 hours. If that happens, then cancel the ticket. So I'm in support of giving it to the subcommittee to come up with.
I believe to Hamtramck to make a ticket, it's gonna be is better. If you don't send that one, Hamtramck you're gonna still find 100 people every week to keep group clean. If you want to find out group, make it every week, every area. I work with the many group. Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Gammon Pack, same thing. Every week. We need to stop that one. Everybody, they love Hamtramck, make it clear. I am the first one, I have a ticket. The code enforcement, they give me a ticket. Yes, I have to have it clean.
Mr. Chair. Okay, still going the subcommittee, they're gonna bring with that. Still I'm gonna say no because of I want a warning. So your language, what you say right now, cancel the ticket, that is the kinds of warning too. So as soon as issue the ticket, court involved. You have to take the appointment to the court. Think about all those things for the residents. So even though code enforcement wanna cancel it, he understand you was sick or you was somewhere else, still you have to go through the court system. Have to take the appointment to the court. Pandemic, now we're gonna wait for the court how many more days and go in front of court and you losing your 1 day or somewhere your important time come to the court. So again, the other city also given the warning. So I've been here long time. I had the warning. So I still want a warning and maybe not a 1 week, 72 hours, and then get the ticket. They still very close to same time. The people who don't want to clean, they're not going to clean within 72 hours. Anyway, they're going to get the ticket. But the who really want to clean, they will clean. So it's not only the ticket depends on clean and not clean. Hamtramck is not that dirty, how you guys thinking. Really not that bad. Yeah, little bad, I understand. Hoyle Trust tried, never pick up 1 or 2 weeks goods on the street. Oh, that time Hamtramck already blow out and gone? No. So I still, even though you send the subcommittee, I'm telling, it still has to come to get my vote to warning.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Councilman.
If I may. See, currently, I don't think they're giving any warning. People are getting tickets right away. The ordinance doesn't say that they're eligible or they're given, it's based on the judgment, based on the pile of debris or things are there. They're just giving the tickets right away. Now, we're talking about reinforcing this ordinance, that instead of giving them benefit of the doubt, the judgment, give them the ticket right away. That's what it says, basically. And that's more hardship. More, I mean, I am one of the guys that cleans up and, you know, participate all the summer youth programs and alleyway cleanup. I love to see clean city. And I hope everyone does, and everyone has the intention of it, but it's like the exceptional things that have to be considered. People are not going to be available. They work 6 days, 7 days, sick, parents, this and that, school. All that has to be in consideration in order to just give them a ticket. You know, I think we should give it a little time to put a better perspective and better thinking before we just reinforce everything. You know? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
from an enforcement standpoint, we pretty much do kind of a mix, warnings and tickets right now. It's sort of across the board. I would strongly encourage the council not to force a warning on there, because frankly, we do have problem offenders in the mix as well that at some point just probably deserve a ticket right out the hole. We also find a lot of people not complying just from letters. It takes a ticket to actually get them to move. Usually when someone gets a ticket in the mail, they think, oh no, I gotta do this now, as opposed to a letter, they just pitch out. With that said, as you all know, our code enforcement is very low on manpower. You know, we're hurting for people in there. We only got so many code enforcements that are part-time out there doing it. So any extra burden puts a certain amount more work involved in this that doesn't allow us to address, you know, X amount of houses more. And in addition to that, from an enforcement standpoint, we're really just looking for compliance. You know, we're not interested in getting them penalized with the court. So, I mean, I can tell you on a regular basis that our code enforcement officers speak with our city attorneys in regards to, they cleaned it up, you know, we're not pressing this beyond. So, countless ones are recommended to be dismissed because people have complied at that point. Yes, it is a little bit more of a burden to have to go to court, but, I mean, if you're not paying attention to it, you know, maybe you don't do it again. So, at least from an enforcement standpoint, I just wanted to add that.
And how do you decide who needs a warning and who needs a straight ticket?
Chair, I have an answer for if you give me permission.
Go.
So here's the one. I don't want to say that, now I have to say, because city manager opened the discussion. This morning, I was sitting, breakfast, Main Street. Your ticket getting discriminated. He got the ticket, he did not get the ticket. He got the warning, I got the ticket. I don't want to say that. And one of them, my colleague from here, told me that. Ticket getting discriminated. So the thing what you saying, feel is truth now. Somebody don't get ticket, somebody get ticket. So if I have the warning, 72 hours, hey, you already got the warning, there is no discrimination. Now ticket. First letter warning, second letter discriminated, ticket or no discrimination. Now people saying he didn't get the ticket. Oh, even my wife was telling me, my neighborhood, I have a little bit in the side, in the just grow up. I didn't clean. He has a lot. He didn't get the ticket. I talked to the neighborhood. They didn't get the ticket. Why I get the ticket? I said, you did not clean. That's why you get the ticket. So, if you give the one warning, there is the neighborhood cannot talk each other. I didn't get, you get. No. So that kinds of thing also prevent. If you give the warning, prevent all the discrimination. Second letter is that. So this morning I got a complaint. He didn't get ticket. I got the ticket. I go corner. He didn't get the ticket. My door got the ticket. So because of lack of enforce the law same manner. So if I got the warning, hey, don't say that I didn't give to me. You got warning? Yeah, don't worry about him. You got warning, he got now ticket. So no discrimination.
All right, yeah, so I hear people there saying that
Now you go.
there's, that the code enforcement is selective in giving
Yes.
warning and tickets. That's why I
No
asked the question,
discrimination.
how do we decide who deserves a ticket and who deserves a warning? Is it based on how big is the violation or how bad is it?
No, you cannot clarify.
You know, it's officer discretion to some degree. I mean, same with a regular police officer, stopping someone from speeding on the street. Sometimes the person gets a warning, sometimes they get a ticket. You know, I mean, I can't really speak to whatever rationale they decided that day that they thought this person, maybe that person they know was a chronic offender. And I'm not saying that any of the ones that Councilman was talking about this morning, but, you know, there are certain addresses in the city that we're well aware of. You know, even with tickets, over and over and over, they still don't comply, you know, so at least from my perspective, I would like to think that people that we know aren't gonna just handle it, probably get the tickets right out and the other way around, but that, you know, that's not to say that it can't go the other way too, you know, I mean, it's a human organization with, you know, humans writing these tickets, so, you know, it could be any myriad of reasons why someone would and someone wouldn't.
Here's the another law we had. Within 1 year, if you have a one warning, next any violation you have, I don't have to give you warning, ticket. That's the good reason too, and a good implementation too. I had it in the Hamtramck city. I involved with them. So that's what I'm saying. There is the right now criteria. How you gonna clarify he was qualified for ticket, he not qualified for ticket. Now people saying he is my friend, that's why court enforcement didn't give him ticket. So if a once a year one warning, you can go there, and it's the good. Hey, within 1 year you already had one, and next anyone you have ticket. That's all we had previously.
Mr. Chair, I think by even giving 72 hours of warning time, I think that's a long, even if we do decide in that point of having a warning, 72 hours, I think that's a longer time. Let's say if someone has extra trash, food, where it's his trash is already full, and he still has 2 more bags of food where he's gonna place next to the garbage, and now, you know what, I'm not gonna write the ticket until 72 hours.
Or 12 hours.
You know, so I'm saying if we do, I think 72 hours is, if the body decides to just have a warning, I think 72 hours, it's a lot. I think if we
So give
decide
them
for a
12 hours.
warning, you know, I think we should lower the timings
No,
of
you
period
should.
of. But again, like I said, you know, I'll still continue pushing it to the subcommittee and let them come with a better conclusion of what's best.
Okay.
And then for the city could, you know, for the body either to vote if they want it or not. And then Mayor Pro Tem could put another resolution for a warning, maybe less timing to.
Or once a year is still good. That's my suggestion to the subcommittee, request to the subcommittee. 12 hours, 8 hours, no problem.
Yeah, I'm in support for that. Just give it more time to come up with a better.
So, Mr. Khalil, Councilman, you wanna table it for, or send back to the, what we should do?
No, we need to vote for that one. Why we table it?
Okay, go ahead, vote for it.
Just vote.
Well, no, you're motioning for subcommittee?
Yes.
So I need a second and then we'll vote.
Second.
Thank you. Let me write this one down. Indefinitely, not the, so we're pretty much just tabling the.
Yeah,
So
that
it's
one
not
we are
gonna
sending
come
back
back
to
to the
the,
resolution necessarily, it's just gonna be the
Sending back
ordinance
to the
being,
You're sending it to subcommittee.
correct,
Mhm.
okay.
The mayor, I presume, will appoint the subcommittee.
Is there already one, there is a subcommittee already, right?
Yep, there is a.
Chowdhury seconded?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. All right, we're all set. Can we just vote now?
Yes.
Councilman Rafai?
Yes.
Councilman Councilman
Yeah.
Al Samiri?
Okay.
You wanna accept telephone vote?
Okay, yes.
Councilman Hassan?
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Rafai's motion to send resolution 22-107 to subcommittee has passed.
All right, thank you. All right, so we'll move to the reports.
Mr. Mayor, we have our financial officer here today, if you have any questions for him.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council. Does anyone have any questions on the July financial statements? Both July and August are, most of the revenues and expenditures received in July and August actually go back to last year. So not a lot of activity this month, but if you have any questions.
No, sir.
Thank you.
How you feel financial condition right now?
How do I feel your financial condition is? Every day it changes. Some day it's better, some day it's not. But
Given you,
right now, I think you're in good shape.
given you any heart
We'll be
attack?
within budget.
Okay, that's all we wanna know.
So,
Within
thank you.
budget.
Thank you.
Thank you.
sir.
All right, so my report, it wasn't much over the past 2 weeks. We had an event on the 19th, last Friday, that I attended. It was, I was with Councilman Rafai at the scholarship event organized by the Yemeni American Association, and I was one of the speakers. It was a good event. They honored 22 students and give them scholarships. This program, I was one of the scholarship recipients in 2000 when I graduated from high school by this organization. So that was on the 19th. Another event was today by Hamtramck Public Schools, family affair. Before going back to school, I attended in Pulaski Park. It was fun. I met with some educators, principals of schools, board education members. We talked to families and some organizations there. These are the two main events that I attended. That's all for me. We'll move to the Mayor Pro Tem report.
Mr. Chair, and my other residents, I just want to request to the all elected official, our personal statement, make sure don't destroy my Hamtramck city reputation. Previous council member has a personal thing, and lawsuit came to the Hamtramck city also. Our lawyer involved, one of the personal council member issue, we have to pay from Hamtramck city money. I'm talking 2009, 10, like that time. So we don't want those kinds of things, we have to go through again. So just want to let you know, Hamtramck, Detroit, NAACP, because of my friend Shaver is here. NAACP, I created 30 member, I brought it myself to created the format, the Hamtramck Detroit chapter. First president is right behind over there, Kamal Rahman. Okay, so we are a diverse community, and we proved that. And when I saw that no, I need to change the president, and after 2 years, we vote for his mom. We changed the president. So those kinds of people we are right now. I'm not going to say whose color is going to be our manager. No, very clear. It's qualified person. If I don't care who is, who we think my vote go this way, how I feel, I think who can do the Hamtramck better job, qualified and better job. That's why. And again, I'm requesting today everybody, anybody know anybody who is qualified for the Hamtramck city manager, who has the degree and other things, experience or non-experience, they can apply to the Hamtramck website. And if you want to come personally to our HR, given to her, and also come to the personally city manager or clerk if you don't have time, still you can give it to them. So we try to save some money, and we still want to advertise freely or expend some money in newspaper, Michigan Municipal League, Hamtramck website. We're going to do it. There is no discrimination. There is nobody should say we're going to hire this color or that, this ethnic or that. No, it's not going to happen under my observation or my vote. So we want to very clear that one. Everybody feel we're not looking for some especially somebody. We are looking for anybody from any ethnic who can do the job and who is qualified. Thank you. I'm sorry,
Thank you.
Mr. Schaefer. If you request for time that time, yeah, we accept the time. You did not request for the time that time. Your space you want to extend. You did not request for that. That's why we did. You know. If anytime you want to do it, no issue, sir. Thank you.
All right. City Council, anyone wants to say something?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Councilor.
if I may.
Shawga, yes.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank Allen's Brothers City Farm for serving the city of Hamtramck for a long time. And he has been very dedicated and has resolved many of those problems that were inherited from before he started. And I wanted to appreciate that farm for serving and mitigating those problems. And Brother Jim has answered many of my questions and has helped me throughout my last 3 years council. And I really appreciate you, brother. And also I'd like to congrats Ms. Lukman, I think Mali Lukman, for being assistant city manager, and also new city attorney, Audi Farm. And I also want to thank everyone for being here tonight and giving your valuable time to listening and giving your opinions and your comments. We appreciate it. One thing I would like to say that, you know, as you heard from colleagues and mayor, that we wanted to find somebody who is very unique and dedicated and due diligence and qualified, most of all, to be serving this community. It is a very controversial, very, you know, it's got a lot of troubles, you know, comes from every directions and maybe fabrication stuff. You know, news, you know, you say one thing, they fabricate it to another things, and it gets into boiling and down to us, that we made it this statement, or we say this. Many times it's not authenticated. It's a really favoritism to someone who really trying to manipulate. So I would say, you know, it's based on the qualifications. It's what we are looking for, and we wanted to find somebody who would be giving the most of the time and most of the dedicated time to serve this community. That is our goal. And with this being said, thank you so much. Have a good night. And please attend the festival, 26, 27, and 28, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It will be fun. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if anybody, any council member don't say, I forget one sentence.
Yeah, we all forget to thank Jim Allen, but
Yeah.
we'll be in touch with him. We're not gonna let
No
him.
problem, this is another one too.
Yeah. All right, go
I'm
ahead.
requesting to my colleagues what Greg said about the American Excel. So please think about it. The one new business resolution we're postponing. Think about that, about the American Excel, what Greg said. Deeply think about it. Okay, so Masonic was sitting over there over 20 years. What I get, what I'm gonna get if it come to the operation. So here go real fast. And Wayne County Jail, I wanna thanks to the interim, what is the name? Interim city manager, right? I wanna thanks to my interim city manager, what I'm thinking, he was thinking same.
Interim.
So how that happened? So if jail go, it definitely we're gonna go, not today or tomorrow. So I'm thinking this is the one we can name housing project. You know, so I'm looking for investor. I have some friend, multimillionaire. I try to convince him, buy that one in case happen, start with the apartment building. You know, housing. Same thing he's thinking, he talking to someone in case happen, wanna bring somebody to make the housing, not the government one, private housing things. So think something like that, what we're gonna do. My first speech in here, while I was talking 2009, first council meeting, I warned them, 3 million will be deficient very soon. I told them, then they was laughing, what I'm saying. Because American Excel gonna go very soon, and we did not collect the rainy fund. We did not create it. That time we had a lot of money coming. American Excel over 3 million, over there over 2 million, 5 million coming, that 5 million going to the safety. So nobody thinking if they go, they already declare we're gonna go. It's still not savings money that time. I was telling them. So all those things, we all have to think as a government, as a elected official, as a Hamtramck lover. So thank you everybody. Bill Meyer is not here. If he was here today, we was violating our Robert rules, talking back and forth, public comment. So that one also. I understand when public says something, even though it's not true, we have to take it. Then when you have time, then you clarify that one.
No, he actually is support of addressing the issue at the same time. We talked
Okay,
about.
thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right,
You're still
thank you so
doing
much.
the, respectfully controlling the meeting.
Thank you.
I had a couple of mayor previous, you're still doing good.
Thank you. All right.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to thank everybody for coming here tonight. I want to thank Jim Allen and his firm for all the hard work for the city of Hamtramck, and especially this case that we're done with. It's been a long, many years of this case, so we're done with 3 more houses and we'll be good. We should celebrate as you before you leave. And then I want to congratulate to our new attorney, O'Day, for being city attorney with Zach. Just a reminder to Hamtramck citizens, as you guys know, Labor Day is coming up. We have the Hamtramck Festival that's coming up on Labor Day. And also on the 5th of September, we have the Yemeni American League soccer, where our team of Hamtramck won in Alabama last year. So now we will have this tournament here in Hamtramck. It will be on September 5th.
Actually, August 31st, the opening ceremony.
I think it's going to be different.
September, no, they moved it to Hamtramck, and September 5th is the final game and the celebration. So it's all here in Hamtramck.
So it's all here in Hamtramck, and it's going to happen, especially the final tournament will be on the 5th, where we have our Labor Day festival and also our parade. I'd like to let citizens, organizations to try to participate with the Hamtramck Labor Day Festival. They're open to every community, to every center, organization. Please contact who are responsible, see if you want to participate in this parade that they're going to have on the 5th. Wish you guys all the best, and God bless.
Thank you. All right.
The motion to adjourn?
No,
no.
city
Public
manager,
comments.
city manager.
Oh.
report.
City manager, public comments.
I wanna go.
Yes. So, Max, do you have anything to say?
Just one update, speed humps, real soon you'll be seeing them go straight across. We're getting speed humps, so it's already been agreed with the contractor, we're just waiting to get on their schedule with Marco. So they'll be fully crossed all the way, no divots in them.
Mr. Chair, are we still continuing with that rubber plastic, or are we doing
We're
pavement?
doing what's there now, but we're just doing one solid pump across, as opposed to there was like cutouts. And the thought process was so that they wouldn't see vehicles get through, but unfortunately it didn't work out quite as well planned. So we're just doing solid pumps across.
All right, during the, today's event, where at Pulaski, where the mayor was there, I was there with the Councilman Sumeri. I spoke to, board members of school, Mr. Obeid and Hedwan that were here, and superintendent, or term superintendent, spoke to me. They were like, the homes that we have right now are not doing good at all. They said they're partners with the city of Hamtramck, putting a lot of money into this, and they decided why not do it like the city of Detroit, where it's paved, instead of using those.
The ones that are in now are paved. They're just, the problem was there was just cutouts in them to allow these fire trucks to go through it unhindered, but the side effect of that was cars could get through it easily too, so.
Well, the one on Hanley are not paved. They're
Oh,
actually
the
rubber.
original two, you mean. The original two sets we did? Yeah, those were rubber, but all the ones we did subsequently are paved.
So are we gonna switch all those to paved?
No,
Instead
the
of-
asphalt. The asphalt is better. Keep
Yeah,
it the asphalt, but
ones going in
same.
now are all asphalt, but
Yes.
just the original pilot ones were the actual rubber, so I wouldn't suggest we remove them because they're functioning currently, but as their life expectancy goes up, we could always do paved.
Well, the one on Hanley, half of it is off.
Okay.
So I think, because now we're wasting money on these, I think, rubber and plastic stuff. Why we can't just try to use asphalt, and pave them the way like Detroit is, where at least Detroit, and I live in Miller, there's two of them. And even though they don't do the 100%, makes people slow down, but at least it's better than the one we have.
Yeah, all the new ones going in are paved.
The new one all asphalt.
All right, thank you.
I have Mr. Chair, couple of questions for city manager.
I mean, if you
Mr.
can do it
Chowdhury
quick.
has mentioned that address. Did you take that down? That, for the Trowbridge that he has? Yeah,
Yeah, he already
Rajolchi,
sent-
yes.
he already sent me a message.
And the second
I
thing
already
is,
told him to send it to
okay.
me, he already did.
And then, when should we expect that directional sign is gonna be installed?
They're ordered, I can follow up and see what the timeline from coming in. They're on
It's
order.
been ordered. It's,
All right,
but
thank you.
month.
Thank
Yeah.
you. We'll
Thank
move
you.
back to the public comment now.
Mr. Seekers, just remember, it's 2 minutes on agenda.
I got you, I got you, I got you,
On agenda
I got
items
you.
only.
All right, listen, I'm gonna go right quick. It's been a pleasure you being here, but I'm about to run over something when he was talking about this lawsuit and all of that. A lot of you don't know this. Throw some names out: Picano, Barnhart, Juanita Jones, Damon Keith. You remember those names?
Yeah.
Those are the individuals.
I was with the governor in the
Okay,
house.
now, let's not, the only reason why I said that is, let's not revert back to another lawsuit. That's all I'm saying. Good night, enjoy the evening. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Mr. Nasser Hussein still here? Yes, welcome. 2 minutes on agenda
Just to
items.
correct something Craig said, this is from the Hamtramck Review, 2011. Hamtramck city officials are not entirely sympathetic to the company. Hamtramck lost $500,000 a year in taxes when American Axle suddenly announced it was closing down 4 years ago. The company announced it was shutting down right after a 12-year tax break expired in Hamtramck, just for a correction. Okay, regarding the trash, I don't know why is it so hard. The code enforcement, if you just knock on the door, cut the grass, and he puts a sticker, you have 24 hours to cut the grass, most people will comply. The idea of warning is for people to comply with the ordinance, not to penalize them. And I'm sure 95% of Hamtramck residents, if they get a warning, a sticker, or the code enforcement talks to them, they will fix it. Warning, leave them minus 2 people. They have up to this grass and nobody talks to them. If you could go next to the properties owned by Hevelman, next to Ghazali Mosque, next to his fenced property is like grass up to here. I don't think even he gets tickets. I got tickets like 2 weeks ago. The grass was maybe 7 inches. It wasn't that big, but I got a ticket and I paid it. It's okay. It has to be uniform for everyone. If you want to give warning to everyone. If you want to give tickets to everyone. Selective enforcement, it makes people hate each other. How come this Polish guy didn't get a warning and I'm a Bengali or Yemeni got a ticket? You're creating division in the community. Give a warning, create text messaging list for these people to do it if you want to. And the parking, I think you should ask the financial officer to give you a parking summary budget, how much money we have made. We're sending hundreds of thousands to the company, and I was wondering how much the city is making. So you should ask for a report. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, our last public commenter gets a standing ovation. Mr. Jim Allen. Although it is public comment on agenda items, I'm assuming you're speaking on the attorney transfer, right?
I am.
Yes.
And
You force him.
it is a matter of personal privilege when you don't get to give your eulogy because you're gone, but I guess I can give the benediction at my final meeting. And it's a privilege that I have my lifetime law partner, even though we don't work together on a day-to-day work basis. It was a privilege to serve with him, and I share any honor that I have professionally with David. He's here to talk for closed session. It's a privilege that I have him here. I'm going to leave some people out that I should thank. Phil Kavanaugh introduced me to Chris Cornwell in 2005. Chris was the deputy mayor at the time. Chris introduced me to Tom Jankowski, and Tom Jankowski hired me. Tom has been much more than a friend to me for all these years. He's been a spiritual advisor, strengthened my faith. He's a kind, gentle, decent person, and he's made me a better person. Tom lost the election in 2005, and there was a peaceful transfer of power in Hamtramck. I'm gonna violate the rule here.
Sue us.
Karen Majewski had the courage and the decency not to fire me on January 1st, and I became a great friend of hers over the years that I served with her, and I came to appreciate and admire her honesty, her decency, and I never had to question what she was telling me to be the truth. And the woman never took anything for the job, and served as an example to me, as a booster to this community. And I think for many years, in spite of what a lot of people said about her, was the glue that kept this community together. I want to thank Scott Klein for being an advisor and a friend, Anam Mia, Fidel Al-Rusumi, and this council and the mayor. I would like to say more good things about you, but I'm afraid that if I do, Nasser will accuse you of being a stooge on Facebook. But you've all been great to work with. You've been decent to me. I loved working with you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much. Never an unkind word to me. Never raised your voice at me. Never said anything to me that wasn't true, that I couldn't take to the bank. It was a pleasure serving you. I would be here to work with you in whatever capacity you need informally. People say that I profited in my time here, and they're right about that, but not financially. I grew as a person. I grew being able to serve people who needed it. In 2008, at the lowest point in my life, people think the last year was the lowest point in my life. It wasn't. 2008, the lowest point in my life, I was watching my friends who I went to law school with become managing partners of big Wall Street law firms, corporate CEOs, board members, passing me by, and I was a lot brighter than they were in law school. And I was feeling sorry for myself. And my older brother, who never missed an opportunity to kick me in the ass when I needed it, told me to quit pitying myself, because I was feeling bad, because I thought what they would put on my gravestone was that I was the city attorney for Hamtramck, and that was such a bad thing. He told me I was here because I was needed. And I had a purpose, and that made me lucky. And he was right. So thank you. I want to thank Kathy Anger. She was a great friend. It was a privilege to serve with her. Max, you were just a kid when I met you. Called me the first week I was on the job to help him close down a drug house. And we closed that drug house down, didn't we? I don't think the chief of police liked it very much that patrolman was calling the city attorney outside the chain of command, but we did some good work together, and you've continued to do good work, and I hope you continue to do good work. Too many other people to thank and name. The clerks, Ed Norris, Augie Gitschlag, certainly Rana, great chiefs. Ann, been wonderful to work with. Matt, haven't had time to work with him very much, but he's a great guy. People are lucky. I'm going to thank all the union heads. We've butted heads before, but nothing ever personal, at least in my mind. Andy Alexiak is hurt right now. He's a good guy, and I hope the city supports him through his injury and gets him back healthy. And kicking Ode and Zach's butt like he did mine. Andy Molesky, Detective Gonzalez, you're good guys. They really care a lot about the city and serving the residents. Andrew Robinson bleeds for this city. He cares a lot about his people. So you've got some good people to build around. Bill Diamond is not here tonight. John Hennessy. I'm leaving people out, and I apologize for all that. I have to say, because I've served with Mohammed for so long, I don't want to get him in trouble on Facebook, but he's a great guy, great friend. I've always been able to rely upon his good advice and good counsel, and hope I've managed to give him some as well. So my fortune here is never going to be measured in dollars. It's been the experience. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
I'm still gonna call you.
And Mr. Mayor, that is all for public comment.
All right, so we'll move to a closed session now.
I motion.
Second.
Any action or any?
Time is 8:56.
Yes.